So there is a story about a rabbi. And every Friday morning before Shabbat, in the month leading up to the High Holy Days, this rabbi would vanish. He wasn't in synagogue, he wasn't home, he wasn't in the Beit Midrash, wasn't anywhere to be found. The community had no idea where he went. So a rumor came about. The rabbi must be going up to heaven. He must be going up there each Friday before Shabbat to talk to God, to ensure goodness for all the people in his community for the week to come. One day, someone in the community heard this rumor about the rabbi going up to heaven, and he didn't believe it. The rabbi goes up to heaven? No way. No person can go up to heaven and come back down. So this person decided to find out for himself what was going on with the rabbi. That night, he snuck into the rabbi's house, tiptoed into the bedroom, and waited under the rabbi's bed. In the morning, he hears the rabbi getting up. He watches as the rabbi gets ready for his day, and when he gets dressed, he doesn't put on his usual clothes. Instead, he puts on a big coat, a big hat, and big boots, and an axe in his belt. The rabbi looks so different that you wouldn't even recognize him walking by. When the rabbi leaves his house, the man quietly follows him. The rabbi walks through town, all the way to the outskirts of the town, and finally into the woods. The man following is confused. Where could the rabbi possibly be going? But he continues to follow into the woods, and finally, the rabbi stops at a tree, takes out his axe, and begins chopping the tree into logs. Then he takes a bundle of wood, carries it out of the woods, until he stops at a shack on the outskirts of the town. The man watches as the rabbi knocks on the door and brings the wood into the home of an old woman. The rabbi brings the wood in and starts a fire for her. The man wonders, what is the rabbi doing here? Doesn't he need to get ready for Shabbat? Shouldn't he be saying his morning prayers? Well, then the man notices that as the rabbi puts the wood into the oven and kindles the fire, he begins to say his morning prayers. When they make it back to the town, everyone asks this man what he found out. What happened to the rabbi? Did he actually go up to heaven? The man responded, if not higher. This story, originally told in Yiddish by I.L. Peretz, teaches us about what it means to pair prayer with action. The rabbi could simply focus on prayer in preparation for the days of awe, but he does more. He takes time out of his busy day to help someone with something they couldn't do themselves, and makes this part of his morning ritual and prayer practice. We too have a charge of turning prayer into action this week. We've made it through the days of awe. We've thought deeply about how we've missed the mark and how we can be the best versions of ourselves this new year. We've said we're sorry to loved ones, to God, and to ourselves. We've engaged with challenging pieces of liturgy. We've fasted. We've hosted festive meals, and maybe even powered through very long lines at our local bagel shops. So it should be time for a break, right? Our tradition says no. What do we need to do when we get home from Yom Kippur services? We are taught it is a mitzvah to immediately build our sukkah. Sukkot begins on Monday night, but we don't get the weekend to just relax. The Shulchan Aruch, which outlines these laws, mentions that even if it's Erev Shabbat, as it is today, you should immediately get to building your sukkah. But why? Because when a mitzvah presents itself, you shouldn't put it off. Rather, we should jump at the opportunity to do the mitzvah with excitement. But I think there's another reason too. We need to get home from Yom Kippur and build a sukkah so we can remember the importance of pairing our prayers with action. We shouldn't let all the hard work we did on Yom Kippur sit only in our heads and hearts. We shouldn't wait until next week or next month to start living out the year we've imagined for ourselves. Rather, we should pursue the opportunity to bring our intentions from these high holy days into fruition. On Rosh Hashanah, we wrote our soul papers, bravely putting into words the ways we've missed the mark this year. Perhaps you thought too of how you might want to act differently in the year to come. Now is the time when we put those words into action. That might look like reaching out this week to the friend or family member you wished you'd connected with more this past year. It may look like setting up volunteering times at the Kol Ami food pantry if you hoped you'd help those in need more this year. Or it may be checking out a book from the library to start learning about that issue that you care about and you want to investigate more this year. On the second day of Rosh Hashanah, I spoke about prayer, how prayer can impact us, serve as a source of spiritual strength and resilience in our lives, both inside and outside of the Beit Tefillah. Prayer is so powerful. And this season in particular, it offers us beautiful opportunities for reflection and consideration of how we want to approach this year and how we can be our best selves. At the same time, Jewish tradition teaches us that to get the most out of prayer, it needs to be paired with action. It's up to each of us then to find ways that will move from our prayers during these days of awe to action in the coming year. Shabbat Shalom.